Ladies and gentlemen, as I will read you out the world's breaking news headlines, but there is a headline that is taken to storm on social media. Canada is in shock after a worst school shooting in decades, leaving at least 9 dead and several injured in a remote mountain town. Of course, the police found 6 people dead and dozens injured when they arrived at the high school in Tumbler Ridge, a town of just 2,400 people in the northeast British Columbia, earlier on Tuesday afternoon. Of course, another person had died en route to the hospital, according to the police reports. The shooter, who was found dead at the school with a self-inflicted injury, is believed to have killed more 2 people whose bodies were discovered at a home in the township. This is an ongoing story. As I will find more details regarding this, I will update you all on what is happening. There are other updates that I would like to share as well. The US President Donald Trump is weighing in on sending a second aircraft carrier to the Middle East, intensifying this pressure on Iran amid diplomatic talks. Iran's top security official holding talks in Oman following nuclear negotiations with the US, alongside Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu revoking the Israeli citizenship of 2 Palestinians in a first-of-its-kind move. I want to begin with Norman Floyd Barnes, as I was briefing our viewers regarding a shooting that has gone down in Tumbler Ridge in Canada. I believe it's an ongoing story, and more on that, but I want to understand why Donald Trump sees and is considering why he needs to deploy a second aircraft carrier group into the Middle East. I believe this long game is being very exhaustive on Iran, and in the overall region it is threatening the economic progress of the region as a whole. I want to know more from Norman Floyd Barnes.
Good morning. It's too early to comment on that. That information is now developing and is coming out. So once we get more details, I will be able to comment on that. This is a very live and current situation, and the general public and the press has not been told exactly what's going on. But right now, we are just seeing that there's been more military activity in the region, and something is being planned, something is being initiated. So without that information, I can't comfortably tell you exactly what it is and why.
Of course, the Iran's government from 1979 was an Islamic revolutionary government, and that is the stronghold of what Iran is even today. All of these years has accumulated in Iran's stronghold and allied nations who are supportive of Iran. I want to focus on Norman Floyd Barnes. There is an important update regarding the White House. Benjamin Netanyahu is being hosted by US President Donald Trump at the White House today, as tensions continue to rise in the Middle East and negotiations intensify over curbing Iran's nuclear weapons program. I want to understand what is this development ever since Donald Trump has entered office in a second term. This has been the 6th visit by a leader of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, both of which had taken part in the 12-day war last summer, and is looking forward to deter Iran's strategy in the region, of course, to disarm their missile program and to not allow nuclear weaponry to be developed. I want to know what are some huge implications of such a friendship between US and Israel, alongside the US also deploying another aircraft carrier group to the region. How will the allied nations of the US in that region respond to this? We know there's 22 US bases in Middle East as a whole, and of course some of these nations have said in order to protect their own economic posture, they will not allow any kind of retaliation or any kind of offensive to happen using their land and their air. So I want to know how Norman Floyd Barnes sees this issue.
Thank you for the question, but the strategy meeting, this is a strategy meeting between the United States and Israel. Basically, Israel is getting approval and support on the new military tactic on the dealing with Iran. It appears that they are preparing for attack without the support of the regional bases in the area. The second aircraft carrier could be a means where they can launch flights without flying over land. Uh, but this is all speculation. We have no idea exactly what exactly is going on. But the idea is basically there's a strategy in place that involving the U.S. and Israel going at this next assault attack alone without the support of the region. And the second aircraft carrier and other supporting information is developing coming out of that region. So right now, uh, we're just forecasting what could happen, but actually what is actually happened, we don't know until it's released by the government. But for my viewpoint, it appears that some type of action is preparing to launch, and the prime minister is here to meet with the president to get his final approval.
Norman Floyd Barnes, as I'm sure you were hearing Abdul Bari in the studio, he ascertained regarding the testing of weapons regarding war fronts and the Iron Dome. And every now and then, these rockets, these missiles, these testing mechanisms are being conducted in the face and in the narrative of war. And not only so, friends of the United States of America are also doubtful, as he said, and there was a confidence issue that he brought to the table. And I, being a journalist, I took to the stage to understand this rhetoric and the U.S. foreign policy. Recently, we have also seen some kind of narrative coming forth with Greenland, in which the U.S. side had made remarks with Denmark. It ended up with the Danish parliament laughing at the entirety of the decision. So I want to understand from Norman Floyd Barnes, friends of the USA, NATO and alike, even the allies, everyone is now being in a difference, very big in doubt. So I want to know, when shall this doubt clear? What is the future for America's foreign policy? Norman Floyd Barnes.
Thank you for the question, but the question leads to me again forecasting. I am not that powerful. I'm not that confident that the future is predictable. Yes, our NATO allies are now questioning um, the American foreign policy. The situation in Iran is deteriorating. Uh, Israel is now talking with the United States on basically how to safeguard its homeland, impending this situation, this plan, uh, attack or whatever they are trying to do in terms of Iran. But the point is that Israel is now vulnerable. The homeland is vulnerable to Iran, and the support of the region appears to be not of the United States in this operation. So the issue with Greenland, the Danish situation, the European and NATO viewpoint on this, that this situation with Iran, they're going to have to go at it alone. Uh, Israel will probably be the first uh, country, the first area that's going to have the direct impact of this impending aggression on Iran. And we're looking at isolation in terms of our resources, our military bases, and also Iran. So a chain of events is impending, me forecasting the future. If there's some type of penetration attack on Iran, it's going to have a regional effect. Uh, you will see countries close in and be more protective, and the exposure to Israel will be more evident, and our military resources will be in harm's way. So it's not a good look. It's not a good situation. And basically, what is the plan for going in and attacking Iran or trying to unseat the regime? Where is the vacuum going to be filled? Who's going to respond to the situation? So now I believe this discussion they having with the prime minister and the president is exactly how do we mitigate the risk of this of situation? How do we maintain our presence? and how do we protect our interests in terms of global trade and dealing with the rest of the world. So it's a lot on the table, discussion. There's plans being put in place for this, and we're going into Ramadan next week. So things have to be very carefully planned because this could have a cascading effect on exactly how the region goes and what is the plan. Because things are going to happen and it's going to have the direct effect on Israel, our partners in the Middle East, and also back here in the United States. How do we deal with things, uh, and what could happen if this attack is implemented? And okay, so once again, we have to wait and see. This is a fluid situation going on, but there's a plan in place how it's going to be implemented and how the risk is going to be mitigated to the United States and its close allies, Israel, in regards to this. So, new story, new date.
Bangladesh's election, by this time tomorrow, millions would have been voted already for their choice of party. We know that on one side there is Bangladesh Jamaat Islami led coalition with the NCP joined. On the other hand, we have the BNP, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, with its followers and its other political parties under its spectrum. And some of the news that are coming out in this region regarding various of the rule breaking before an election. So I want to know, sitting from Washington DC, what are some of the aspects that you want to see or want to understand regarding Bangladesh? I mean, tomorrow's program is definitely going to be regarding how the voting is being held, how the voter turnouts are going to be, whether or not there shall be any kind of violence at the voting stations. As social media says, there shall be some kind of violence in the most high-risk voting or polling stations. I want to know Norman Floyd Barnes' perspective. I know yesterday you had ascertained about China's role in Bangladesh. What are the other spectrums or what are the other expectations you have, sir?
Yes, this is a very historical time for the citizens of Bangladesh, for the region and for the world. This is an opportunity. We are predicting a high voter turnout. There will be a very close race. We're looking at maybe a 5% difference in between. Uh, it will have a very impactful results for the region. China is, like I said, will be watching. You will, we can expect to see China come out with a statement regarding this election,
Right,
and hopefully we will have some type of unity comes out of this. The main thing is that it's important that everybody get out and vote.
of
Their
course.
voices have this is opportunity to have your voices heard.
Right,
The results of it will be basically something that hopefully the people of Bangladesh can say, "Hey, we did our part, and we want to have some type of control of what's going on, and now be we can be respected as a nation, in which we want to participate in the whole process of
right,
South Asia. South
right.
Asia need to be a focal point of what's going on. And again, Bangladesh, this is your time to showcase exactly what you want, what your intention and your passion. And now uh, you can engage in this whole process of world and quality of life, what's going on. So
All
it's a
right, sir.
very exciting time. It could be a very dangerous time, but that comes with the territory. High risk, high results. So
Thank you
let's
so
get this
much.
thing on and let's go.
Common Americans to understand. I believe Mr. Bari is going to ask this question to our geopolitical correspondent Norman Floyd Barnes. I pass the mantle to Mr. Bari. What is this interesting question, if you would please?
Yeah, my question is that to Mr. Pradhan, so far my knowledge, from the beginning of my knowledge, I know the American politics is guided by the President and the Senate and Congress. But the military policy always planned by the Pentagon. There is a two part. Pentagon is taking all military step, military plan, and international relation. What sort of dominating tendency will taken by the against the which country? The plan is made by the Pentagon, and the internal development and the internal development and international economy, that will be guided by the President of USA. Past time we also saw, even we can say during the time of the Gulf War, the Mr. Bush also doing what that was planned by the Pentagon. It was very easy to all, and it was very clear to all. All the military step is always taken by the Pentagon, and US President is acting only, but actual power is dealt by the US. The actual power is used by the Pentagon policymaker, and it was approved by the Senate. And President is normally act about the behind the screen plan. So I ask this question to Mr. Norman Fladburn. The Pentagon, due to the Mr. Donald Trump amalgamate or the craziness decision, the people of America, people of the world, and the alliance of the US, they can think the Pentagon may be going to lose their control from the military plan. The military plan and etc. is already dissolved, and Donald Trump is making the military plan, imposing it, using it, ordering it. Due to this reason, the conflict is start in between NATO and the US. So it is my normal question to you, sir. Can you explain to us, Pentagon is going to lose their position to make a military plan and decision? It's my question.
Thank you for that thoughtful question. But as you notice, starting this year, there's been a shift in the policy and the procedures normally in place. Yes, the Pentagon is responsible for implementing the plan, but they do not make the plan. The plan is being made by the Trump administration. The Congress being advised in segments, a sanitized version of what the plan is. But the Trump administration is keeping this very close with the Secretary of War, who will implement the plan through the Pentagon, and the Pentagon will put up the actual procedures, how it's going to be done. And the president gives instruction on what he wants done and how it's going to be implemented. So what you're seeing now is Donald Trump administration is orchestrating a operational plan that is going to be implemented by the Pentagon through the Secretary of War. Congresses will be advised on exactly what has happened, but not what is to happen regarding this matter. And consequently, the U.S. public, the people, will be notified on exactly what has happened. So what we're looking at is not a proactive, a long type of assault, we call attack or war, but something that will happen within a matter of 48 hours, and they will report back to the Congress on exactly what has happened, the success, the failures, or whatever going on. So it's more of like a strategical overnight attack, just like we happened in Venezuela, with a mission. Hopefully, the mission will be accomplished with the help of other countries. This case will be Israel. A planned attack that will be strategic and like a strike hit, get in and get out of situation, and that is how it's going to happen. So the traditional Pentagon brings up the plan, talk to Congress, advised by the president, and they make a declaration. It's no longer in effect with this administration. The administration works on a different theme. A new tradition, a new trend is in place. So we have to wait and see exactly what happened, and they will tell us what they did, not what they're planning to do. So it's a whole new perspective on looking at this situation, and they're keeping it very close to the cabinet of the president and the Secretary of War. And the Pentagon serves a purpose of basically implementing the plans and what we call they are following orders.